Hi, my name is Thomas Ambrosia, and I'm presenting my paper on the U.S. Political ambition gender gap. Uh, I structured my paper in a couple of different ways. I took five academic articles in the academically published book by Lawless and Fox, and uh, basically drew three general theories as to why there's a political ambition gap, their effects on public policy, the effect of the gap on public policy, and then compared them to see which one was the strongest argument and which one seemed the most viable. So, firstly, the first theory that I focused on was from the book by Lawless and Fox. It takes a candidate, and their central argument is that uh, the political ambition gap stems from traditional gender role social or traditional gender socialization, and then they break that up into three different categories: traditional family role orientation, masculinized ethos, and gendered psyche. Family role orientations being that women are supposed to be in the private sector, men are supposed to be in the public sector. That's how it's been for so many years, and that's how everything has to be structured. But in reality, women are spending, even if they are the primary breadwinner, they are spending twice as much time with taking care of their children statistically and doing their domestic duties as homemakers. Therefore, it doesn't come down to what they should and shouldn't do. It basically or it does come down to that in pressures that they receive from external sources, but it also comes down to the fact that they're not receiving the resources that they need to have the time to pursue a career. The second one is masculinized ethos, is that their argument is that the U.S. government was designed for men and built by men to participate in. Therefore, it doesn't facilitate the success of women, and which is unfortunate because women bring to the table so much needed improvement to politics. Third is the gendered psyches, that these expectations are ingrained in us, and these gender roles are so deeply ingrained in us that it affects media, institutions, our culture, the way we teach our children, and makes it very difficult for women to see themselves as viable candidates. Second argument is motivation. In an article by Edmund Constantini, he argues that women are motivated to go into politics for different reasons based on his survey, and that these reasons that they're motivated by do not facilitate their success. Political ambition, as he describes it, is the desire for political power, prestige, and profit. But those traits are the masculine traits that contribute to a masculinized political sphere that is U.S. politics. So if a woman wants to go into politics because she is passionate about a policy issue or the state of society, she will enter politics and not be successful because that's not what everybody else's goal is, and therefore she does not have the resources to achieve it. The third argument that I compared with the other two is gender psychology. There are a couple articles that pointed to just psychological differences in men and women that would make them more ambitious for politics. One by Priest and Stoddard argued that women are more competition averse, and they avoid competition because it's more of an evolutionary masculine trait, and they base it off of some logical factors. And the second is stereotype threat, argued by Sayers and Blaze in their 2017 article. They say that women are more affected by stereotype threats. So if a female candidate considering to enter office is threatened by a statement that says that women are less suitable for politics, then she will be affected more so. Her ambition level will be affected more so than a man would. And that was a survey conducted. And the last one was also a survey by Sweet Cushman 2016, which found that women are risk averse, and they do not evolutionary evolved. They have not evolutionarily evolved in the same way that men have in their inclination to assume risks. So in my discussion, I found that Lawless and Fox's traditional gender socialization argument was the strongest. It's evident in our institutions. It's evident in the way that we are taught in our schools and in our education, that men are supposed to be in one place in careers and women in the other, and the opening those doors to a uh, non-gendered career options. That is not happening at the rate that it needs to be. But basically, all of these articles do also draw from Lawless and Fox's arguments, and the evidence that they provide is much more surmountable to their thesis statement in their argument. So basically, I end my discussions with a couple of points about public policy. So as the political ambition gap closes and more women are elected into office, one one effect of this political ambition gap is that less women are elected in politics. But if more women were elected into politics, then it affects the norms about what is okay for women and what is not, and influences public opinion and could influence the gendered psyche of U.S. citizens. The second argument about public policy is that women bring to the table more value to issue-oriented policy, communal improvement, communal reform, and they focus more on the needs of marginalized groups. Basically, my solution to this wicked problem that can't truly be solved with one solution is that more women, if more women do assume that risk of entering politics, even though they will be subjected to a gender psyche in a masculinized ethos of politics, and they will have to play the game of double binds, it will change the way politics is structured. I also say that a possible gender quota for politics could improve how many women are in politics and what it looks like, and basically will improve policies so that they are more issue-oriented, and so that our government is not always gridlocked into legislative game that they play in order to maintain office. Thank you.